Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in this universal exhibition. Today, you'll be able to discover some of the more beautiful paintings in the world. Before beginning the visit, I just ask you to pay attention to paintings and to don't take photographs, please. So, now we are in front of La Liberté, Guidant le Peuple, painted in 1830 by Eugène Delacroix. This piece of art measures 260 centimeters by 325 centimeters and is an oil painting. Usually, it is conserved in the museum Le Louvre, located in Paris. Please take your audio guide and listen to the informations about it. The artist. Eugène Delacroix was born in 1789 in France. His father was a political man who was a time minister of the foreign offices. Unfortunately, Eugène became orphan when he was only 16. His uncle helped him to keep on studying. He received a musical and artistic education. Eugène was 18 when he entered in Les Beaux-Arts, a famous French artistic school where he met a lot of artists, such as Théodore Géricault. There, he achieved little works to gain the few money he needed to survive. In 1820, he met Victor Hugo, who taught him Romanticism. Then, Eugène focused on paintings called historic. During this period, he painted his most famous piece of art, such as L'assassinat de l'évêque de Liège or La liberté, guidant le peuple. Delacroix finally died in 1863, after having received a tremendous success at the Universal Exhibition in 1855. The historical context. La liberté guidant le peuple is deeply rooted in a strong historical context. After Napoleon's fall, France was governed by Louis XVIII. He established a liberal politic which led rich people, Eugène was concerned, to sustain him and his government. But Louis XVIII was old and finally died in 1824. Charles X became the king. He was really attached to God and the religion. He established a new political regime that the Parisians disagreed with. Parisians finished by revolt themselves against the monarchy. This event lasted 3 days, is very famous, and is called Les Trois Glorieuses. It is the second big revolution in 50 years, after the French Revolution in 1789. This revolutionary wave pushed people, and more particularly artists, to defend values like the liberty. It is the case of Eugène Delacroix. Now, let's describe and analyze this painting. On this painting, you can notice the tower of Notre Dame's cathedral and conclude that the scene takes place in Paris. At the first look, you observe Parisians rising on rebels and pieces of plank. So, when you cross it with the historical context, you imagine that Eugène Delacroix wanted to represent a battle which took place in Paris on one of the 400 barricades. Moreover, by looking very well, there is a sign on which is written 1830 and Les Trois Glorieuses. But if you observe more attentively, you distinguish many symbols and significations. Let's have a look. First, the characters. At the bottom of the painting, there are 3 dead soldiers. You can recognize them with their uniform. The main characters are those standing at eye level. They are 5. On the left and on the right, there are 2 children carrying weapons and having a rebellious look. On the right of the left boy, there is a man wearing a shirt and a satchel and having in his right hand a sword and in his pocket a gun. On his left, there is another man better dressed with a suit and a high hat. His look is turned towards the most important character of this piece of art, a woman. All these characters come from different levels in the 19th century society, and it shows that the whole France, every ages, children and adults, every social middles, worker middle, the bourgeoisie, were concerned, included and engaged in this revolution. Back to this woman. Whereas the tone used are dark, she is wearing clear clothes. Moreover, she is surrounded by a white smoking coming from the fire. She is semi-naked. You can interpret it by different ways. I'll just tell you that she is free. She has no constraint, and that's what the French people want during this time. No privileges. This woman is brandishing the tricolor French flag. This last one symbolizes the equality between the king, white color, and the nation, blue and red color. The fact that this flag is placed in the middle of the painting and over the whole characters means that France and its different social middles are equal one another. The woman is also wearing the Frisian cap, representing the French Republic. But Eugène Delacroix is totally in romanticism in his painting. Indeed, he is exploring every phase of the art in order to express his moods. This board has a part of mystery with the light play, but also a part of fantastic with this woman who comes from nowhere, a part of morbid with the dead soldiers. Delacroix is also placing symbols, the French flag and the Frisian cap. But the most important fact which includes this painting to romanticism is the past notion. At the first look, we think that it is a scene of the French Revolution of 1789, but no, the scene represented took place more than 40 years later. To conclude, this piece of art is a representation of the end of a battle which happened in 1830. Really precise with many details, Eugène Delacroix is introducing a lot of symbols of the French Republic, the flag or the cap, in order to mark the change of government. He's integrating the French values like the equality and the freedom with this main character, a woman semi-naked. I find this piece of art very amazing due to its technical qualities, the details, the color, contrast, etc. But also beyond the material aspect, I find this piece of art really expressive and interesting to study in every corner. I think it is really inspiring by the fact that the author, Eugène Delacroix, conveys a real message, and that in 1830 he had ever this idea of equality so much important. He impregnated his paintings of these values which are beautiful, and according to me, people who are able to do it are extremely respectable. So I love it, really. I hope you are now more cultivated than before entering in this exhibition. That was a pleasure to talk to you. See you soon. Bye.